In Florida, where roads stretch endlessly under sun and wind, Shaquille O'Neal consciously chose a life beyond fame and spotlights. Far from NBA arenas and Hollywood glamour, his ranch became the center of a new daily routine, characterized by peace, structure, and control. But this place does not just tell of a retreat, but of a long journey. To understand how he got here, we must first return to his rise. Shaquille O'Neal did not enter the NBA quietly. He arrived like a shift in the natural order. Born in 1972 in Newark and raised with discipline and constant change, his physical presence was impossible to ignore. But the moment was decisive. When Orlando drafted him first overall in 1992, the league was looking for a new center. What they got was a force that dominated games, defenses, and expectations. Even at LSU, O'Neal had shown where his path was leading. He controlled the paint with ease, led the NCAA in rebounds and blocks, won the SEC Player of the Year title twice in a row, and turned every college game into a demonstration. That wasn't a promise. It was a certainty. In Orlando, expectation became reality. O'Neal transformed the Magic immediately and led the team to the NBA Finals in 1995. He became the most unstoppable presence under the basket. But this rapid rise came at a price. The finals loss and his departure forced him into a decision: security or ambition, stay or risk everything for the next step. Leaving Orlando was not a retreat, but a choice for greatness. Shaquille O'Neal moved to Los Angeles, stepping onto the stage where legends are forged. In a Lakers jersey, his most powerful era began. Together with Kobe Bryant, he reached a level that felt unfair to opponents. From 2000 to 2002, the NBA revolved around him. 3 consecutive championships, 3 finals, 1 MVP title. His dominance was efficient, brutal, and unstoppable. In the paint, he dictated every game, determining the pace and outcome. Yet success also brought friction. Egos collided, pressure mounted, and public criticism grew. What looked like a dynasty from the outside began to fracture from within. In the end, this era did not fall apart because of a defeat, but because of exhaustion. Many believed O'Neal's best days were behind him, but that assessment would prove to be a mistake. Was this really the end of his dominance, or just the beginning of a new phase? The move to Miami was often interpreted as a sign of decline. But for Shaquille O'Neal, it wasn't a step backward, but a recalibration. In Florida, he no longer acted as the sole protagonist, but as a leader: less show, more responsibility; less ego, more impact. In 2006, this transformation paid off. With the Heat, O'Neal won the NBA championship once more, proving that greatness can evolve. His dominance was no longer reflected just in numbers, but in presence, experience, and control. It was a silent form of redemption, achieved through restraint rather than raw power. The final stops of his career, Phoenix, Cleveland, and Boston, were less about statistics and more about closure. When he retired in 2011, his legacy was untouchable. 4 championships, 15 All-Star selections, 1 MVP title. His jerseys hang in multiple arenas today, not as a memory, but as a reminder of a time when he ruled the paint. But what happens when a player of this magnitude leaves the court? Does the story end there, or is it only just beginning? Retirement did not mean a standstill, but a new direction. After the end of his NBA career, Shaquille O'Neal shifted his focus to television, education, and above all, business. Every decision followed the same principle that had defined him as a player: recognizing the right moment and committing to it fully. The center of this new life is in Florida. His ranch is not for isolation, but for order. It offers distance, privacy, and stability after years of constant public life. A long, straight driveway leads deep into the property, past open meadows and well-maintained grounds where function is more important than display. Inside, there is a sense of calm. High ceilings, light materials, and open spaces create vastness without excess. Everything is designed for daily life. Large glass surfaces let in light, while personal photos give the house a sense of intimacy. An indoor basketball hoop serves as a quiet reminder of the mindset that once brought him to the top. The ranch is not a place for short breaks, but a permanent home. Every area supports a life designed for control, independence, and consistency. But this estate is only one part of his modern-day empire. What lies behind the next chapters of his story? In addition to his ranch, Shaquille O'Neal owns one of the most extensive car collections among celebrities. Between 40 and 60 vehicles reflect his taste and evolution. However, the focus is not on numbers, but on utility. In this video, we focus on 2 models he drives and displays publicly most often. The first is the Hummer H2. In the early 2000s, this vehicle became closely associated with O'Neal's Lakers era. Large, massive, and heavily modified, it perfectly fit his stature and his dominance on the court. Public appearances and media images turned the H2 into a symbol of that era. The second vehicle is a newer addition to his collection, the Apocalypse TRX. Unveiled at a 2024 auto show, this off-road pickup embodies raw power and modern technology. With its wide silhouette and aggressive design, it continues the lineage O'Neal has pursued for years. These vehicles do not stand for luxury alone, but for control, presence, and purpose. But behind the ranch and cars lies an even larger structure. Where does his wealth come from, and how did he build it? Behind the ranch and vehicles stands a clearly structured financial strategy. Shaquille O'Neal's net worth is estimated at around $500 million. It did not come from a single breakthrough, but through long-term planning and consistent diversification. Even after his NBA career, his income remained exceptionally high. Between 2020 and 2026, it is estimated at about $60 to $95 million per year. A stable core is television. His contract with Inside the NBA, which was extended in 2025, earns him over $15 million annually. In addition, there are lucrative advertising partnerships with well-known brands such as Reebok, Icy Hot, Papa John's, The General, and Carnival. These deals secure him millions more and show how strong his public impact remains. The quietest but most effective part of his wealth comes from his business holdings. Restaurants, gyms, car washes, and real estate provide constant income. Not quick profits, but ownership and control are the foundation of this empire. But wealth was never the ultimate goal for him. How does he use his influence to give back? As his influence grew, Shaquille O'Neal increasingly shifted his focus to social engagement. In 2019, he founded the Shaquille O'Neal Foundation with the goal of providing real opportunities for disadvantaged children. The foundation works with existing networks and supports programs in education, community, and youth development. A central component is the annual Christmas initiative. In several cities, toys, clothing, meals, and gifts are distributed to low-income families. Educational projects also play an important role. Programs like Shack to School provide school supplies and backpacks for children, reaching hundreds of students every year. Furthermore, he is involved in the sports sector. Support programs assist school teams, new sports fields are built or renovated, and entire youth centers are created. In addition, there are scholarships, direct donations, and major collaborative charity efforts, such as for cancer research. His commitment follows the same principle as his life: thinking long-term, creating structures, and taking responsibility. But what does his daily life look like today, beyond the stage, business, and the public eye? Today, Shaquille O'Neal lives predominantly on his ranch in Florida. Following his divorce from Shawnee O'Neal, he has remained single but maintains a good relationship with her and is the father of 6 children. Despite a busy schedule, he repeatedly emphasizes how closely involved he remains in his children's lives. His daily routine follows a steady rhythm. The day often begins with an ice bath, followed by moderate exercise. Several times a week, he trains in his own gym, focusing on mobility and overall fitness. His diet has become lighter, with more salads and fewer heavy meals. Professionally, he remains a presence. As a TV analyst for Inside the NBA, he continues to be a staple, alongside advertising appearances and work on his own brands. Evenings are quieter. Streaming, relaxation, and meditation are part of his daily life. From the court to the ranch, his life today is characterized by structure, balance, and continuity. But how do you summarize a journey that has led from dominance to consistency? From the basketball court to the business world, from the public eye to the quiet ranch in Florida, one thing remains constant with Shaquille O'Neal: structure, scale, and clear intention. His story does not end with his retirement, it only changes form. Now, tell me, which personality should we explore next? If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next story.